Hello there. So I'm just doing an update on an imaginary city that I'm making for 3Z Universe. You can find the landing page. I'll include it in the link. It's 3zuni.com, or you can go to my blog, jamesabelart.com/blog, to check out the 3Z Universe there. So basically, the last few videos I was going on about I was entering the Beneath the Wave challenge for ArtStation, but I kind of got bored of underwater stuff, and I've done underwater stuff for clients before for underwater wave farms, so it kind of wasn't that inspiring for me, but I got a lot of interesting shapes and architectonic elements from the research that I was doing with that. I'll just say that I'm just doing a course, just refreshing my skills. One of them is Gleb Alexandrov. It's not this course actually, it's another course he does, but it's a freemium one and it's about HDRI lighting. So I'd recommend doing that. I'll put the link in the description. And also I'm doing, as I mentioned in the last videos, Concept Architecture by Maxim Zestov, and he uses Cinema 4D, he uses Photoshop, and he uses Arnold Renderer, and then he sort of makes it 360 VR that he puts on Sketchfab. So that's something I'm really interested in, really into doing at the moment, is to get my imaginary city environments and get them into VR. Firstly, use just a 360 look around one, and then I'm going to start looking into using a game engine. Now, you know, you can go in circles with tools and stuff. So on his Maxim Zestov's course, he recommends using Arnold, and I've been doing it in 3dsmax. I'm getting more into Modo at the moment, but the modeling would slow me down too much if I was using Modo just to try and get this done quickly, because I want to get this done in a week. I'm really into doing fast stuff. I like to get stuff done and get more stuff with the 3Z Universe and expand it as much as possible this year in 2017, which is nearly ended. In 2018, you're going to see some cool stuff there as well. So anyway, so what am I saying? Yeah, Arnold Renderer was very good, but since then I've been looking at that course by Gleb Alexandrov and looking into Blender, and actually looking into it as a commercial renderer for my 3Z Universe projects and any commercial work that I do. And I'm just setting this up very quickly. There's an HDRI map from HDRI Haven, I think it's called. That's a link on Gleb's course. My fan's starting to kick in. I'm using cycles here. This is Blender 2.79, I think. Really interesting. I tried out the Eevee render, which is the real-time render, which is going to come in 2.8. They've got an unstable version you can test, or a beta version you can test on Blender, so I'd recommend looking at that. I might do a video about that next, using this scene in Eevee. So Eevee sounds quite nice as well. I'm sure lots of Blender fanboys are going to go, yeah, use Eevee all the time, like Eevee. Let's take this off renderer. Perhaps I'm getting danger of Blender turning into a fanboy. So it's the best software in the world, which obviously there's commercial software out there. I'm not really into the modeling in Blender. I don't like the poly modeling in Blender, so that's why I'm using Modo. So at the moment I'm transferring from 3ds Max to Modo. Anyway, so what am I talking about? Yeah, so I was making the scene. These blocks, I made a version of these blocks just using wooden blocks on a table, where I'm doing a work contract at the moment for this year called Fab Lab Devon. So it's a fabrication lab. So actually scanned it, and then I brought it in really rough mesh, and I used that to make lots of blocks quickly around it. So I think it looks more natural than if you use the blocks in 3D space. It gives it an extra dimension. This block, I'm just doing some blocking in, block. So this block here. And this block's going to be repeated in some ways around the scene. And as I said, I want to do a 360 with this. So I want to make a 360 scene, not as a real-time scene, but like a look around. So it's like rendered as a sphere, and I want to test it out on a gyroscope mobile phone. And I think I'm going to start doing that more in 2018, is using more real-time stuff, using the 360 stuff, putting on Sketchfab for you to see environments in the 3D universe, and then look at using real-time software. Perhaps there's Eevee software in Blender. There'll be some way that you can put it into VR for your phones or your Oculus Rift. Who knows? But anyway, so the thing about doing a 360 is that it's a complete environment. So this render I'm actually going to do as a still piece of artwork that will be for sale as a print. But at the same time, on the VR renderer, I'm gonna look around it. So it's a whole different kettle of fish. It's like doing a game engine. So you've got to think about the composition as a whole. So when you've got this bit, but if you look around here, if there's nothing there, it's going to be very boring. So that's why I've been adding these elements. So this is why I've been started detailing this element and then, repeat it to save time. I've taken it into Sketchfab here, and I'm working with materials in Sketchfab, making it look kind of concretey. It looks kind of a bit 1970s-ish sculpture, late 60s, 70s, but that's kind of good because it fits into the retro futuristic feel that my 3D universe kind of has. And again, these cable cars are again a kind of retro futuristic. I was looking at a photograph of Expo 70, the Japan Expo in Osaka, and they have cable cars, which is I find really interesting as well. I love stuff like that. So again, that fits in with the style of the 3D universe. Again, so it's just making this kind of sculpture thing. In Substance Painter, really good. You've got smart materials in case you haven't used it. So you have smart materials. You can just whack down on each object, and it simulates the look of the materials. And again, if this isn't a focus point, if this is just a sort of building, in the far distance, you don't need to detail in so much. And if you want to detail in, then you can add things like particles. So here is a leak particle system that I've just been messing around with here, and you just hold it down and then it will drip down. Okay, so then taking it into Blender, as I said, working with the Cycles engine on it, and then pushing things around. And I'm from an art, drawing, sculpture sort of design background, so I'm never really. I've always got like I've always got an unrestful mind of an artist, so I'm always pushing things around. So you might think this is a whole stack of just architectural blocks, but for me, I'm sort of pushing the blocks around, taking it really seriously. How does the aesthetic feel? How would this look in real life? And that's really good, and that's where I'd recommend doing a course like Maxim Zestov's course, because he talks about all these aesthetic considerations. I mean, I know all this anyway, but sometimes it's really good to go and do courses from people at the top of their industry, because it refreshes you and gives you more inspiration. And Learn Square is really good because you can pay more to get. I think you can get like more tuition, and then I think in each of these courses they have an apprentice, and often the apprentice is like an industry leader as well, but in a slightly different discipline with 3D graphics. So that's an awesome thing as well. But you have to pay $1 to $5 to get the apprentice journey. I just got the basic, but you can upgrade. I think it might be worth doing, because I'm going to keep you coming back to this course to get more inspiration for my work, and I think you'll agree that probably after you'll see my last piece of work and this piece of work, and I'm also doing another cinematography course with Learn Squared. I can see anyway my work's becoming a bit more fresher, and I'm starting to evolve it. Unfortunately, or fortunately, no, let's say fortunately, let's be optimistic, that I've been working in 3D since 99, 3dsmax since 99. Got quite a few film festival competitions with Channel 4, did quite a lot of commercial work. Probably about 8 years ago, I got a bit not disorientated, disenchanted with what I was doing, because it was sort of visualization kind of work, which I still do. This is really good, but my passion is imaginative cities, art, sci-fi stuff, sculpture, design. So and what I'm doing now is I'm combining it with 3D models, laser cuts, because I've got full access to a fabrication lab, and I've done a lot of art residencies in fab labs. I'm really interested in combining it all. So I really have no idea what I'm going on about at the moment. It's not a very what should I say? It's not a video today where I've got objectives and outcomes, but you know, this rambling. I like rambling like this. It might help you. There's plenty of other tutorials. This is not a tutorial. There's plenty of other things on YouTube will say, do this, this, this in 1 minute. This is more like, you know, talking about what I'm doing and the journey, the creative journey that I'm on at the moment. So anyway, peoples, 3ds Max, I'm only using 2015. It is a proper version. I haven't hidden it up here because it's a trial or something. It is. I did actually have this commercially, still do. But you know, time marches on. It's new software that's very affordable now. So you know, all you sort of people just coming into 3D graphics, no matter what your age, if you're 10, 16, 18, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 or whatever, doesn't matter. We've got such an amazing time with 3D graphics, and also the fact that we can, you know, get these things printed out. So I've got access to 3D printers, and I'm doing another city thing, another imaginary city of the imagination, which is I'm got some 3D prints. I've got them up here where I'm doing this screencast. I'm painting them, taking photographs. So you know, you've got so many dimensions now with 3D graphics, not just making a game, not just making some 2D artwork. We can take it into the matrix or whatever we want to say and put it into VR, put your Oculus Rift stuff on. You can paint in Oculus Rift. Is it tilt brush? You can model in Oculus Rift. Forgotten the program. I'll soon trying to be getting to that. And then you can, you know, get stuff in 3D print. And you can have interactive electronics with Arduinos. So it's an absolutely amazing time. So thanks very much for sticking with my rambles today. And as I say, I've kind of evolved, as I say, or taken a diversion from doing stuff beneath the waves, and now I guess it's kind of above the skies, and I want it to make it kind of like an icy environment, you know, like in winter, because it's winter apparently here. Well, it's raining a lot in the UK. I love winters in other countries. I love other countries. I always want to go abroad again. You know, like Canada, or you know, the middle of Europe, or even Madrid, when we got, you know, you got proper winters, cold, blue skies, very cold, snow, blue skies. And then today in Devon, where I'm doing a contract, it's just rainy, but at least it keeps things green, hey? And anyway, so I'm going to stop there. So remember to, if you're interested in this, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and see the updates of the 3Z universe and other stuff that I'm doing. You can also go to my 3Z universe page, which I've got now. So it's 3zuni.com, and you can look at that and sign up to my newsletter there. Or you can go to my website, jamesabelart.com, and then check out jamesabelart.com/blog for my 3Z universe stuff that I'm doing. So thanks very much, and bye for now. And yeah, and just I'll include those links to Gleb's course, which isn't this one, but I'll put the proper one in, and then so that's the HDRI lighting in Blender, and then this is Concept Architecture by Maxim Zestov on Learn Squared. So thanks very much, have a good day wherever you are, and I really hope this is recorded. I'll try and find the records, but I'll cut this out. Bye for now, have a good one, bye.